Hello there, welcome back to Crafters TV. Hope you're having a brilliant afternoon or morning, of course, depending on where you are. The next couple of hours, it's all about the craft along, which means we're all going to create something together in real time using something that I know loads of you already have and have got your hands on today. It is all about... Ooh, funny sound. The Nutcracker, which is this one just here. Loads of you got this, loads of you own it already. A beautiful box Sarah signature collection full of amazing elements. And Debbie is with me. She's going to show us something rather fabulous, aren't you, Debbie, over the next couple of hours?
Yes, I certainly am. So I thought we'd learn this card blank, or card concept, say card blank. It's about having something that's a little bit more 3D, a little bit kinetic, folds flat, which I absolutely love, and it's super easy to do. So folding out, yeah, just a really nice little project to do, and it really is super easy, and we're going to be doing it a couple of times till you get it. So but honestly, it's really easy. The other thing is, I just want to say as well, Joe, is that we've been informed that after every show, the craft along, all in full instructions will be placed on I'm a Crafter's Companion group on Facebook. So if you're not on I'm a Crafter's Companion on Facebook, get on there and you'll find the whole thing on there afterwards.
Amazing. It's definitely not too late to join in if you want to gather your bits and bobs together as well. Let's take you through everything you're going to need then in this craft along today. So here you are, the Sarah signature Nutcracker box and all the goodies that come within. You're going to of course need that. You will need your large guillotine, an A4 craft card, Nina card, Pokey Tools scissors, craft knife, ruler, score master, all pretty easy to come by stuff, I should say. So as well as then some other additional bits, your Gemini Junior, low-tack tape, we've got a couple of ink pads there for you, your stamping platforms, one of our tri-blends, some foam on a roll, and also some tacky glue there as well. Right, so go and grab all of those bits, gather them up. We've got a few minutes to do that. Don't forget as well, if you don't yet own the Nutcracker box, it's absolutely not too late to get your hands on it. We do have it available right now. It's in stock, and you'll be able to come back and watch this craft along back anytime you wish. It will live indefinitely over on the website. So if you want to grab it today, $49.99 or $59.95. It's absolutely jam-packed full of card blanks, envelopes, colour card, papers, embossing folders, stencils, stamps, metal dies, ribbons, dewdrops, gems, you name it, it is all in there for you. Once this arrives, you could then come back and watch the craft along back at your leisure. Lots of people tuning in and saying hi already. Sarah Brown says hi again. I'm going to be saving the show. I'm now in bed. It's 11 p.m. in Australia. Saying hi to everyone. Teresa is here as well, saying good morning from Long Island, New York. Can't wait to see what Debbie does with the box. Patty's in from Michigan. Kathy's here as well, saying good morning or afternoon in Illinois. Rhonda's in too, saying hello to everyone. Now, this craft along will work in exactly the same way all the other craft alongs normally work. Debbie will take regular breaks, so you'll have a little chance to catch up. Don't forget, if you get if you drop behind a little bit, we'll give you an opportunity to catch up and also recap the steps as well where we go through. If there is anything you've missed or you think you might need recapping again, then you can get in touch with us. Really easy. Crafters TV on Facebook. Crafters Companion over on YouTube. Details are along the bottom of your screen right there. But Debbie, I think I'm just looking at the comments here, and it would seem everyone is pretty much good to go. I think if you are.
I was going to say a word then, and it just didn't come out.
Oh, what was the word that you were looking for?
But I was like, you know, it just didn't come out. No, it just didn't come out. So,
why don't we try that bit again then? I'm just checking the comments here, Debbie, and I think if you're good to go, it would seem everyone else is.
Fabulous, I am, Joe.
Seamless.
Right, the first thing we're going to do is start with our piece of card. I've took just an A4 piece of card, and I'm using our craft card. You can use whichever card you want, but this is the base of my card, and we're going to trim this to 10 inches by 6 inches, okay? So that's the first thing we're going to do. So I'm taking our large guillotine because that's got our foot on there, so we can bring out our so I call it a foot and then an arm, so I call it all different things, but there we go. So first of all, I'm going to trim this down to 6 inches. So just go to my 6-inch mark, pop that down there, and then we're going to trim that down. And then we're going to take that across and trim that to 10 inches. So it's as simple as that. So that is in retrospect, our main card. So let's pop that to the side. Now, you don't need these pieces, so I'm just going to pop them to the side. So I'm just going to quickly recap. So craft card, 10 inches by 6 inches, okay? And that is your main card. Then we're going to take our scoreboard. So whatever scoreboards you've got, we're going to first of all place this to the side. Now, what I want to do, rather than give you lots of complicated measurements, I have got a diagram, and I'm going to show you it afterwards, but it will go up on I'm a Crafter's Companion website, on the Facebook page, and it is the actual diagram. So the first thing I want to do, I'm not going to worry about, because we want to do our score lines about 1 inch from the top. So what I would say to you is come down a little bit more than 1 inch to start with. That way you know you're not going to go over that inch line. Doesn't really matter, because when you're doing your scoring, we're going to cover this with papers as well afterwards, so it really doesn't matter. But I'm going to take my score tool. Now I've got my double-ended score tool, so I'm taking my thickest one, and we want to come down, so we're going to come inwards 1.5 inches. Now the way I do it, Joe, so I'm going to this is my 1.5 inch. So I literally put my scoring tool there, and I'm not going to score, but I'm going to come down that line roughly, and then I'm going to score. Okay, so you just literally hover that on your line, come down. You want to come about 1 inch down, but if you're not really 100% sure, leave yourself some sort of room, and it's going to be the same at the bottom here. So the first line that we're going to do is our 1.5 inches. Then we're going to go another inch forward, so this is our 2.5 inch line. Now I'm going to recap on this, so anyone that's not too sure, honestly, don't worry. So we've gone from 1.5 inch to 2.5 inches, and we're going to follow that line down and score again, so in that same place. Okay, now if you did want to, and you've got a ruler, you could always measure that gap, Joe. I'm just trying to do this the easiest way to explain it to people. So if you feel like you're not getting that right on that line, then measure that in. So we've got 1.5 inch, then 2.5 inches, and then we want to go right over here to 6 inches. So we're going to look at that's 4, 5, that's my 6 inch line, okay? And we're going to do the same, so following that line down, and then we're going to score that line as well. Okay, we're not doing that in any particular way, we're just making sure that we've got a sort of inch gap along there. Sorry, we need to do that whole one in, sorry. So that's your 6 inch line, will go all the way down your card, like so. So just a quick recap, 1.5 inches in, allowing at least 1 inch on each side, then 2.5 inches in, again allowing that inch, and then our on your number 6, so 6 inches, we're going to score all the way down. Then we're going to come across and we're going to score this one at 7 inches. So 7 inches, again, find that line, come a little bit down, and then score those lines, like so. Then we're going to rotate the card, and now we're going to put that inch line in. So where you see that inch, I know where my line is here, so I want to start about there. So that's on my 7 inch, and we're going to come right across to our last line on the end here. It's nice using craft card. It's the reason I chose craft card, because you can see those lines still. Okay, so once you've done that, I can then turn that round, and then I can come down to that point onto all of those two, and then this one, which they weren't far out. But if you leave that gap, can you see you get then that perfect scoring? And then we're going to turn that round and do exactly the same on this side. So again, your inch is there, come down, and then we can use that to go across to those end ones. That's not bad scoring on those at all. So again, just going to pop those marks up. That's all the way through, and that one's there. Okay, so you should end up with these score lines in between. Okay, right, shall I recap again and redo them all again?
So, yeah, yes. If that's all right with you, Debbie.
I think that's a good idea.
Just to let everyone know, it's Rhonda Crowley's birthday today as well. Happy birthday, Rhonda.
Yes, happy birthday. Right, so just in case anyone's just joined us, or for everyone to catch up on those score lines, I'm just going to trim this one quite quickly down to size so we can recap on those score lines, just so we know everybody has got those. And then we're going to go across to 10 inches, and then we're just going to chop that piece off. Right, and then we're going to repeat those steps. Now we're not doing this twice, it's just that we don't need to do this. So anyone that's already done this part, don't do any more. If you've got to this stage, that's it. We are just recapping for anyone just to get their head around those measurements, either write them down or to continue from where they're at. So I'm going to come in at 1.5 inches, and I'm not going to score the first part. I'm going to come down and we're just going to score a line through that 1 to 1.5 inches, and then we're going to go an inch forward to 2.5 inches, again bringing that line down and scoring. And you can see I'm not doing any particular size, I'm just leaving about an inch gap top and bottom. Then we're going to come into our 6 inches and we're going to score all the way down. And then from that line we want to go across to number 7, so where your 7-inch line is, come down a little bit and then score that 7-inch line in. Then we're going to rotate and we want to now put that inch line in, so where your number 1 is, so inch line, we're going to come down to this point, which is where my line is, and then we're just going to score to the other line this side. And then we're going to turn that round and then make sure our score lines go to that point. And then that one's all the way down, and then that one to there. And then we're going to rotate that again, where your 1 inch is, come just down here, and then score the other side. Getting that pretty spot on, that one, Joe.
Look at that.
So just down there. Okay, so that's where you should have got to. So just your 1.5 inches, then 2.5 inches, then 6 inches, then 7 inches, and then that's an inch on each side. So just in case anyone's putting their pencil lines in or they're measuring it, that's the sort of grid you had. Now the easiest way, because Joe, when you look up any designs like this, they tell you to pop it on your glass mat, and then they tell you to get a ruler and put your score lines in. But actually we have a really good board that's great for doing that. So all I'm going to do, we want to cut the lines going from here to here and then from here to here, and the easiest way to do that is on your scoreboard. It's not going to damage your scoreboard. It's a really tough plastic. All we're going to do is, now what I would recommend, make sure that you've got a sharp knife, so replace your blade if it's a bit blunt, because it will feather the edges, and we're just going to really gently cut down to that line, just like so. Okay, there's not going to be any mark in your board. It's such a good way to do it, and you get that beautiful line straight away without any ruler, without any measuring. So that's your line there, and then we're going to do the same on the opposite side. Because our score line's already there, all we're going to do is push that down into it so it's already cut through, and then very gently just move my line there, very gently come across to the side there, okay, which creates those ones. So I'll repeat that again. So on these lines going down, we're just going to first of all pierce, and then we're just going to take our card, let's pop that there. I keep moving my card for some reason, popping that down there, rotate that, pop your knife in so it grabs the underneath, and then bring that one down as well, and then that gives you your 2 cutting lines. So
perfect.
Nice and easy to do. Now if you do, or if you, should I say, if you prefer scissors, or you like to use a ruler, then all you would do is exactly the same. If you used our craft ruler, which has a metal line across the top, you would just place that there, and you would do the same by cutting those strips out, okay? Jodie from Tonic had their guillotine the other day, mini cutter, and you could actually position it halfway through your card. So if you've got one of those, you'd be able to use that as well. And you can see I've snipped off a little bit there, but I'm not going to worry too much about that because the card's going to be folded and you won't see it. The next thing we want to do, we want to create, first of all, have we got, I've got that the right way. Your largest piece will be at the back. So can you see, this is your largest amount of space, this is your smallest. So what we are going to do, we're going to do a mountain and valley fold. So you're just going to put your thumb inside, put this onto the edge and fold those in. And you see, just give it a wiggle to fold that back. I'll repeat that. on my other piece, and then you're going to do the same with this one, but the opposite. So this one is going to go valley, and this one is mountain. So just like so. So if I bring this over, then you can see these pieces here will just fold back. So fold that one back, and then this will all just fold back onto your main design. Let me just make sure. Oh, Joe, I've missed a line out.
Oh no.
Oh no. So apologies, everybody. I've just realised that. I thought, why is that not bending? Apologies, I've missed out my 4-inch line, haven't I? Yeah, see, look, I've missed it. It doesn't matter, we've done nothing wrong, apart from we need to add that line in.
Okey-doke.
So apologies for that. So let's pop that on there. We're going to go to 4 inches and just score the lines at the top.
Just the outside bits.
Outside, not inside, yes. Then it will all fall into place. So apologies for that. So yes, now we've got that. I was thinking, why is that not bending over? So can you see now? Now that will bend. This one will bend into place, and that will all just fold neatly, like so. And I'll do that again on my other piece that I had. So let me just pop these pieces down. Use your score lines to burnish. I'm going to turn that round. Score those ones. So just score all those lines in, and that will give you then that perfect card shape. Okay,
nice.
So we'll just do that again, the folding of this, but we'll put our score lines in. So let's just bring that back.
Alistair says he's looking forward to some Nutcracker crafting whilst chomping on Tommy soup and toast. Poorly Al checking in, he says.
I know, he is poorly today.
Is he?
Yeah.
Bless him. Get well soon now.
Got man flu.
Man flu. Oh, it's the worst.
It is the worst.
It's worse than any other kind of flu.
I was a bit mean yesterday. Well, not mean. I said to him that he said he's got a really deep voice. His voice has gone really deep, and because he couldn't speak very well. And I said, oh, he probably just sound very sexy. And then he sent me a voice message, and he didn't sound sexy at all. Right, so then what we're going to do is, again, we want to push that one down. So that's going to be pushed down. This one's going to be pushed up. So if I put my fingers there, so you can see, like so. Then this one, that shouldn't be there. I've cut into that, so I'm just going to pull that away. You've got these pieces, and then it's going to go the opposite way. So this one is going to go, this second line is going to fold upwards, and that one backwards. Okay, and then these two, one will go up and one will go down. There we go. So it just then folds all back on itself like so. There we go. So that will be how yours will look. Okay. So
brilliant.
Shall we just let people catch up with that, Joe,
I think
so they
yeah.
get that right, and then hopefully you'll all be fine with carrying on.
Brilliant. So you've got the Nutcracker there, details are on the screen. It is still available for you at the moment. I want to share with you some other deals that are coming up in our later cartload show though, whilst we're here. And we're going to start with the MIDI, which is this one just here. So the MIDI is great. It's an amazing machine. It really is. It's the same sort of platform size as your Gemini Junior. So you know loads of your dies are going to go through here. And the great thing is about it, it is a manual machine. So it means that it's super fast when you want to do those smaller jobs. You don't need any power for this, but it's still, of course, because it is a Gemini, has all of that power in there for you. You get 2 packs of the folders, and you also get the purple shim included as well, which is going to enable you to emboss. And it's a really simple system. So cardstock on your die in there, pop this down, and it goes straight in through your machine. Really, really simple and easy to use. An absolute staple. Loads of you guys own these and love them out there. So brilliant that we've got that for you today with a discount. I'll just pop there we are. So £14 you're saving, or $25, which is brilliant. $55.99, $84.99 if you want to grab a hold of that today. So don't miss out on that. You'll be seeing more of that in our later cartload show. Cartload, of course, coming your way at 6 p.m. here in the UK, 1 o'clock on the East Coast, 10 a.m. on the West Coast. Now, if you're going for that, or if you already own one, you will definitely want to snap up the next item that I've got for you, which is the replacement folders and of course the shim. So you get 2 packs of the folders here, so that's 4 folders in total, and you're going to get the purple shim, which is what you're going to use alongside your 2D embossing folders in there to use those. Over 35% you're saving here on that, $13.98 or $18.90 if you want to get your hands on those. We've also got a wonderful deal for you on a 3-piece paper pad selection. Now these are gorgeous because you've got a little bit of something for everything in here. This first one is the Country Lane one that you've got just here. All florals, and the thing about florals is they are absolutely timeless, aren't they? They are always going to be easy to craft with, but also it's not going to age, which is fantastic. So a really great stash build of these. You're going to get that one included. You're also going to get the vintage butterflies included in here as well. Love this, so much depth and dimension on every single one of these pages. You've got loads of texture in the backgrounds of these, lots of things like script and scroll and musical notes. Every single one of these packed full. The other great thing as well, it's uncoated, so if you want to stamp on it, you want to ink it, again you've got the opportunity to do that as well. And you've got a Winter's Tale, one of our most recent paper pad launches here, all Christmas themed. Kind of like quite cutesy, quite Scandi, really lovely blue tones running all the way through this as well. So a really lovely pad, that one. You're buying 2 and getting 1 free in that particular configuration, $31.98 or $39.90 if you want to get your hands on those free. And again, they will be coming up in the later cartload show for you. And the other one we're going to take a look at is this. It's the tote bag. Fantastic tote bag, this, it really is. Lots of really lovely big pockets on the outside of here. You've got internal pockets. You've got the handle strap on here that will open out. You've even got a shoulder strap in there too as well. Really strong, these, and brilliant quality. But with this one, you're actually getting a load of extras as well included. You're going to get the amazing scissors. These, our scissors, if you've not had them, they are absolutely sensational. Non-stick blades on there. They're super, super sharp. You're also going to get a bone folder, some of our all-purpose glue. We've also got in here new blades as well. So if your craft knife, as Debbie was saying, maybe isn't as sharp as it once was, definitely think about using those to replace the blades. Pokey Tools coming to you in there. We've got a couple of precision tips and an edge crimper as well. So you've got a great saving here of £15 or $26 on all real core essential items, which I know so many of you use so much. So don't miss out on them. Again, that and everything else is coming up in our later cartload show as well. The other thing I want to tell you about is these, the Christmas Gilding Flakes, still incredibly busy. We launched them yesterday. And well, they almost went. They almost sold out. We really worked hard to get them back for you, and that's exactly what we've done. We've managed to get some more stock. We've secured some more stock. It is the brand new Christmas colours you're looking at. So in here, you're going to get the festive red, the festive green, and the Yuletide gold in there. You will also get as well 204 foam shapes. These are the foam shapes. They also give you an idea of how fabulously shiny those Gilding Flakes are. So you've got your angels and stars. You've got all of your baubles there. You've got your snowflakes in here, and you also have your presents and your trees in there too. All of that gives you a 20% discount there, $22.37 or $28.64 if you are a platinum member. They are all available individually as well, so if you want to check the website, you will find them over there too. Lots of you still chatting away in the comments. Ali says, can I have the score lines again, please? I just need them one more time. Yeah, absolutely. And what I've got in front of me, so this is really good. So what I would say is if you're on your phone, take a screenshot. If you're on your computer, then just take a picture. This diagram will be put up on I'm a Crafter's Companion on Facebook after the show. But this gives us our score lines really simple. And this is how you want to create it. So your actual score lines, your actual card size is 6 inches by 10 inches going across. Then we're going to come an inch down and we're going to score in at 1.5 inches, then 2.5 inches. Then your 6-inch mark is all the way down, so score all the way down. The perforated lines are score lines. The straight lines are obviously where you cut. And then your 7-inch line as well, which is going to come down. Rotate, and then I put in my score line so I know exactly where to cut. Rotate it again, put in your score line, and then we want to cut those score lines. So if I move this is exactly pretty much what it is. So you can see those, we've cut those score lines on the
two edge pieces, and we've come an inch down. And this was the one I forgot to put in at the top. So that's your 4-inch line that we're going to go on the outside, but that's an inch in. So I hope that helps, okay? So 10 inches by 6 inches, scoring an inch down at 1.5 inches, 2.5 inches, and 7 inches. And then we're going to score all the way down through the 6-inch, and then at the 4-inch mark, we're going to score on the outside. Okay, so hopefully that helps. So that's quite nice to have a diagram, especially when you're doing a card size. So let us know if you've managed to get that. We can always show that again throughout the show, so not to worry.
Excellent, hope that helps. Any other questions you've got, get them into me.
Yeah,
Crafters TV on Facebook, Crafters Companion over on YouTube.
Fabulous. So we're all sorted, are we, Joe?
I believe we are.
Right. Now, there's 2 ways you could do this. So, because I always find when you're doing a card like this and you want to do your mats and layers, measuring all those extra pieces and cutting them out, for me, is quite a faff and takes a long time to do. If you want to do, that's absolutely fine. There's 2 ways to do this, but I didn't want to put you through having to do that whole card again. But if I bring in that piece that I did earlier, so we had our 2 pieces, what you could do is create a whole nother one like this and cut these apart, Joe. So if I was to cut up this line here, so let's just do it, and I will show you. So you might find this easier to do at home. So if I use your guillotine to cut those, but it doesn't matter, because what you would do is just come up, cut those pieces out. I'm doing this really quickly. That will give you a template. So if you cut slightly smaller all the way around, that will give you your base layer. Okay, so that's an easy way of being able to do it and creating that perfect mat and layer for here if you want to do 2 cards. I just thought it'd be easier to show you how I did it, and you could do that exactly with all the others. So you could cut then this piece out, so that one, and cut that slightly smaller in all the way around, and that would be your layer for this piece, and so on. This piece, and then your other piece, okay? So if you wanted to create that template again, that way you can keep these pieces and you've always got them. So that's quite a nice way of being able to put them together. Now I'm just going to do it by eye. So the first, well, I say it's sort of by eye. So the first thing I want to do, if I bring in that template again, what you can see is that my piece here, or my piece to go from this way first, is naught. I've done this 0 inches, and we've done it to the 4-inch mark, and then down here is at 6 inches. So I know I want my first mat and layer to be 3 3/4 by 5 3/4, okay? So that's what we're going to do to start off with. So I'm going to I'm taking these pattern papers out of my box and my blue papers out of my box, and that's what we're going to do our mat and layering with. You can use whichever mats and layers you want. The reds would go really nice as well, so just depending what you've got in your box and what you want to do. So the first thing we want to do is bring our guillotine back in, and we're going to trim our first piece of cardstock to 5 3/4 inch. So just like so. Pop this to the side because you can still use this in a minute. And then we're going to turn that round, and we're going to do 3 3/4. Now, because my 2 measurements, let's bring this one in. This side measures the same. Can you see that will fit pretty much into that piece there? Let me bring that up a little bit. But it will also fit into this side as well, even though we've got a different increment around there. So we want 2 pieces the same. So 5 3/4 inch by 3 3/4, and then 5 3/4 inch by 3 3/4 again. So that will come out of your first piece there. And then while we've got them there, what we're going to do is bring in our pattern ones, and we're going to go an increment smaller. So this time we're going to go to our 5 1/2 inches. So I know I want it coming down this way, so I'm going to go here and do 5 1/2 inches, just like so. And then we're going to trim that round at 3 1/2 inches. By 3 1/2 inches, and my next piece at 3 1/2 inches, just like so. So that gives us our mats and layers. Let's pop that to the side and then bring our card back in. So we've got a piece here which is going to mat and layer on one side, and we've got this piece that's going to mat and layer on our opposite side, okay? But what we want to do is we want to take out that piece. So what I want to do is just take, first of all, our blue pieces, and we're going to sort of measure this onto here. So I'm going to place that where I want that to go, just like so. And then, now if you find it easier, let me bring in my low tack tape. What you could do is just very slightly on the end. So let's pop that so it's central. You could just pop a piece of low tack tape on there, and that will just keep that in place while you turn it over, because what I want to do is just take my pen or pencil, whatever you've got at hand. Now you can either cut this with your craft knife, but can you see, you can see the blue piece, just move my hand, just underneath there. All I want to do is I'm going to use my pen just to go underneath that to make that mark. And then we're going to do the same on the other side. And then turn that around, and then when you open that up, can you see we've got those two lines? So what we need to do is take that out. So I know that roughly, I can take that away now and take that tape away. So this piece here, I know that that's an inch, so if I use my glass mat, I can then bring in my ruler. Actually, Joe, do you know what? Let's do it on our scoreboard like we did before. That would be much easier. I'm going to pop it this way round. No, pop it that way round. I'm going to score my line in first. So I know that that's an inch coming in, so we can score that inch line. Okay, but then what I want to do is I want to make it slightly smaller, because so I'm going to come in at 1/4 of an inch. So I'm going an inch and then plus 2 increments. So 1 1/4 inch, and we're going to come down to that line. So what I'm then going to do, I can use my blade again, and then we can come down and just push into that piece there. I don't think I've done that one very straight, but it's absolutely fine. I'm going to come back. That's why I hadn't done it straight at all. Let's just come down and do that a little bit more in. You can always tie it with a ruler, and then we're going to do the same, come down with that inch mark, but we want to go over again. So another increment. I'm not making myself very clear here, am I? Pop that in here and then put that down. So that gives us our first piece. You always just use your little snips or your scissors just to take that piece out. So you can see here, then we're getting that piece that's going to go around the middle, okay? And then we're going to do the same on the opposite side. So just come into that 3/4 of an inch, and then we're just going to use our line along there. Just making sure we've got that cut away, and that cuts away that middle section. So that's our first one for this mat and layering, just across here, like so. Okay, so that gives us our first piece cut away, and then we're going to do exactly the same with our other section. So let's turn that round. And actually, I think, Joe, because I've now done it on the board and I didn't think to do that on the board before, I think we can do the same. So let's come in. Let's do it this way, which I think will help. Come in at our inch and go down to about an inch, that's where I want it, and then come down. So that piece, oh, sorry, 1.5 inches. We're going to come to it, sorry, 1.5 inches. That's why, I think that's where I went wrong on the last piece, so I do apologise. I thought that didn't quite look, it looked like too deep. I'm not going to worry about it though, because at the end of the day, we can hide it with all our workings. Yeah, apologies for that, I did it the wrong way, and I wasn't very clear on that. And I'll show you what I mean. Let's bring this one in. When you put that on here, I did think the gap here was quite a big gap. Right. Because I thought this was 1 inch, but it's not. It is 1 inch, and I did it 1.5 inches, so it's okay. It's okay. Yeah, I think I'm confusing myself, Joe. Do you know what it is? I shouldn't lose track. Let me just, but that's 1.5 inches. So I tell you what, yeah. 2 completely different pieces. This bit here is 1.5 inches, so we can come in at 1.5 inches, but I want to go before that, so we're going to come in 1.25 inches. You've now got 3 lines on there, but don't worry, we're going to cover it with our papers on the top. And then we're going to turn that round, and then where this inch mark is, we're going to put our inch mark to that middle line. So the inch is coming to the 3/4 of an inch. And then again, on this side, that inch mark, we're going to go up to that my second line that I scored, okay? And then we're going to put in those cut lines. So just down there, just very carefully down there. And then we're going to cut down that one. And then come down to there. And then I'm going to go on this side and cut down just to there. That takes that piece away. And then, oh, wrong way, this, hang on, let's get the right bits right, Joe. I think, what have I done? Joe, what have I done? Oh my goodness, where's craft along, look, that I've done.
Did you have it upside down at one point?
I think I must have done, Joe. Oh no, what have I done? Hang on, let me get it the right way. So, that's the right way. Right, okay, that's for that. Oh, I don't know what I've done there, but look, shall we go back to how I did it when I was at home, rather than try and change it? So apologies, we're going to go back to that drawer in the line. Why didn't I just do that in the first place, Joe?
I don't know. Because
that's what I was doing at home, and then I thought I was being clever. There we go. Right, let's go back to how I was doing that. And then we've got our score line, which is at, I would say it's not 3/4, it's 7/8 of an inch.
Okay.
And at that 7/8 of an inch, we're just going to, so we're going to come down to 3/4 of an inch, which is what I said earlier, wasn't it? And we're going to go right to that point of where I just drew those lines. So across there. And then we can turn this one round, and again we're going to go to 3/4 of an inch, just popping in that line, and then from this line, so I'm just making sure, I haven't done this so very plain speaking, it's because I didn't do my line, so 3/4 of an inch, there we go, and then we can pop that one in. And then from those lines, we're just going to come straight down. There we go. Got there eventually. I'm very sorry if I confused anyone. It's the only trouble when you're doing makes like this. And I hate to tell you, but we've got to do that all again now with, there we go, that way. I keep getting the card upside down. Right, apologies. We got there, Joe. We have got there. Right, this piece on that side, this piece on that side. We've still got to come in a slight bit more there, so apologies. Let's just pop that back on. We're going to do our... It's always...
Put a wax seal on here, producer Jamie just asked.
Right, so we're going to come in just that little bit more. We'll have someone write in a minute and say, Debbie, it's much easier if you do it this way. Do you know what I wish I'd done, Joe? I wish I'd just cut those templates out now. You know where I said that if you've done 2 templates, you can then create one as your template.
Yeah, Pamela says, Debbie, that diagram rocks, thank you.
Oh, the one thing does then about the demo. Right, that's better. We got there eventually, Joe. We got there eventually. So, and if you've got any like loose bits, then just trim those. Right, so that's on that side, that one's on that side, there we go, we've got those pieces in. So this one's a bit easier because you've got your template to go by. So all we're going to do is go onto this piece here and literally draw around that inside part. So just around there. And then all we're going to do is take away a little bit of that. So again, bringing your scoreboard, we can score down there. So that, if I go up, this is 1 1/8 of an inch. So I'm going to go across to 3/4. So we're going to go across and score down there. And then that makes it easier to find that line. So then we're going to place our knife into there and just cut down. And then turn that round, and we're going to do the same coming down. But this time we're going to go, we need to just go that little bit further in. Just need to get that right because I've just cut my line. So into that piece, just coming down that little bit more from the top. There we go. So then when we turn that round, I'm just going to come in to 1/2 inch and pull that across. Oop, then we can do the other side. Come into that 1/2 inch down there. So that will make our first matten layer. So onto here. There we go, got there. See, it's much easier to do the second part. And then this piece, take this one. All the other pieces are normal card, Joe, so we're okay after this bit.
Excellent. Susan says, hi Debbie, it actually helps us to see the little slip-ups because we would make them anyway. Now we can avoid them.
Absolutely. And I wish I'd just stick to what I'd done in the first place. That's my trouble, Joe. I am terrible for going off-piste a little bit and then, you know, thinking, why did I do that? Because it didn't, get myself in a pickle. Right, this time again, go down at the 1/2 inch and on the opposite side, 1/2 inch again, just like so, and then we're going to come out to 2.5 inches on this one, just like so, and then we can cut those lines in. So we've gone slightly bigger to our to where our lines are. So just down there, and then our 1/2 inch. And then our 1/2 inch on this side as well. And there we go, that gives us that next piece. Right, so that's our 2 pieces that we can matten layer. So we're going to stick those into place. I haven't cut that very straight, have I, Joe? Look at that. Terrible. So all I'm going to do with that one, we're just going to straighten that piece up.
Cabby says, I absolutely love this style of card. Thank you, Debbie, for using this style for the craft along today.
Oh, lovely. I'm so pleased. Right, now I'm just going to use our, I mean, they are just the mats and layers. At least I didn't get the card all confused, did I? So, which is something. But you'll find your own way of sort of doing them. At home, I just did it by eye. And then I thought to myself, it's probably not a good idea to do it by eye, but it's sometimes how I roll. So let's pop that matten layer that on. Now, if you do get any frayed edges at all, don't ever worry about that because, I mean, there's nothing wrong with frayed edges. And also, Joe showed you a tool that came with the bag. That is what we call a distresser, and it distresses the edge of your papers. And it's a really good one to use if you've not got very straight edges. So I'm just using, because I've got quite thin edges there, I'm just using my dotty tape pen to matten layer. You might prefer at this point to use just like that, to use a wet glue. Then you can reposition it a bit better if you haven't placed it straight. So let's just place that straight down there. Now I always like to turn mine over and just burnish them down at the back. Just make sure that all that glue is affixed. And then we can actually stick these into place. So we've got our first one on this side and then this one here. How are we doing for time? Oh, we're good for time.
Yeah,
so
we've got loads of time. So we've got about 1 hour and a quarter left. There's a lot of banging in the background. Is Joe crafting too? I'm not crafting along today. Yeah, I think sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. I just like you to keep you guessing, that's what it is. Keep you on your toes.
You always keep us on our toes, Joe, that's for sure. Right, so we've just got to keep you on your toes today.
Yeah.
Joe's been partying. That's why, because you're tired, Joe. Like to out ya.
Thanks, Debbie. Cheers. I mean, I went out on Monday for the record. Today is Thursday.
Oh, Monday. Oh, I thought it was the weekend.
I wasn't out like last night. I haven't come straight from the club.
No, I didn't think that. I knew that.
I went out on Sunday and Monday, Debbie. I'm obviously just too old, aren't I?
Oh, you've had ages. It's like Thursday, Joe.
I know. I know that.
Right, so that gets you to your card. I'm going to just carry on our middle pieces because then we can get on with our colouring section. So this middle piece here, let me give you all my measurements. So we're going to create this, this actual piece in the centre, this biggest piece. We're going to do our blue cardstock to 3 3/4 by 3 1/4. So let's bring this back in. And again, we're going to take that down to 3 3/4. So these pieces are nice and easy by 3 1/4. And we also want our patterned ones, so bring in that pattern piece back in. And we're going to trim this one down. We want this one to 3 1/2 by 3 inches. So I'm just making sure, so we want the longest bit to be 3 1/2, and then by 3 inches. And that creates, oh no, I still do it, but it doesn't matter. So that creates our middle section, so that's going to fit into there, okay? And then we're going to create our next 2 panels. So our longest panel are going to be 3 3/4 in your blue. Might be able to get that out the longest bit here. So this is going to be, it's going to be 3/4 of an inch. So 3/4 of an inch. And then we're going to trim these ones to 3 3/4. Had to think then, 3 3/4. So 3 3/4. And we need 2 of those. So 3 3/4 again. Which means our little mats for the side are going to be 3 1/2. 3 1/2. And this time they're going to be 1/2 an inch. So 1/2 an inch, and they'll fit directly into that one. And then 1/2 an inch into that one, like so. So that's going to be, if I bring this card in, that will be our 2, oh, I've done that too big, Joe. It's good job you check, I check, isn't it? So I'm going to bring that in, that needs to come in. Let me just double check. So my downsides are 3/4 of an inch. Did I not do that? Oh no, I didn't. I done it 1 1/4.
Right.
So 3/4 of an inch. And did I do that 1/2 an inch? I can't even see what I'm doing, Joe. So we're going to do that 1/2 an inch. So that's right on our metal strip. And then we're going to do 3/4 of an inch, which I'm going to bring to that line. That looks better. So that's my 2 pieces there. And then this one the same. So I'm going to bring that right to that metal trim. And then we're going to bring that one to the edge there. which is 3/4. So it's 3/4 by 3 3/4, and then your pattern one is 1/2 inch by 3 1/2.
Amazing.
And then just 2 more, Joe, is all we've got left to do. So let me just, I've got some extra pieces here. Our little mini mats are 1 3/4 by 1/4. So again, so 1 3/4. Say that, 1 3/4. Yeah, in the blue. 1 3/4. That looks too big. I don't think that's right. Yeah, I think it's me and my measurements. It's definitely not right. So we're going to do them the same because I think they are the same. Yes. So we're going to do them the same. That's definitely wrong. I wrote them wrong. So it's 3/4 inch. We need 2 of these, and this one we're going to do to 1 3/4. So I think that was right. I was just looking at them weird. So 1 3/4 by 3/4 inch, and we need 2 of those. So 3/4 inch, and then we're going to just do our scrap pieces here that we need at 1/2 inch. And that one is going to be by 1/2 inch. Yes, 1/2 inch. And then 1/2 inch again. Just down to, oh, haven't done that 1/2 inch. Wonder if I did the other one at that. I bet people are shouting, oh no, I did do it. And they'll create those pieces. We got there eventually. Any recapping, just ask me once we have a break.
All's well, Debbie, isn't it?
You what, sorry?
All's well that ends well.
Absolutely, yes. And you'll know, now you've got your card blank, you'll know to do those measurements. So all we've got to do now, Joe, is stick these. So these are all going to go into place along here and on the top there. And then we're going to, I think they still look a little bit big, so I might need to trim those ones down. That's all the joys of crafting along, isn't it? So I am going to trim these a little bit smaller, just to fit into that gap. So I'm going to take these down to the length, the width, should I say, of my metal trim. And then we're just going to take this down a little bit more to fit in with those. So that will fit on the inside there, and the same here, just because of my trim on the outside here. So trim those ones down. That's much better. And then we'll trim this one just down to allow to fit in there. Perfect, there we go. Right, let's stick these pieces together, and then we can then start on our stamping and colouring.
Anyone that's got any questions, get them into me. You know the drill. Crafters TV over on Facebook, Crafters Companion on YouTube. Melanie E says, I'm loving this. Already saved it so I can rewatch it later. Remember, you can, of course, watch these back anytime you like, which is always handy. So
it's probably a good thing with this one.
Sorry?
I said it's probably a good thing with this one. I seem to have gone a bit off piece with
You'll be
my...
able to rewind it and pause it and do all the things.
Yeah, that's it. You know what I'm trying to do.
Yes, but I think everyone's following along, Debbie. I haven't got any questions to the contrary in the comments, so I think
lovely.
seems to be keeping up, which is good.
I mean, the good thing is that the actual card itself you've done, and you can just measure those extra pieces yourself to be able to do them. But I now do wish that I'd just shown you doing 2 of those cards and then cutting down your template, because it does make life a lot easier to do it that way. So once I've stuck these into place, we'll have a bit of a break. And then allow you to catch up on all your cutting and sticking. And then if everyone's all good, then we will get on to our stamping and colouring.
Absolutely. Sarah Brown says, Debbie, at least they were bigger.
That's very true. That's very true.
Better than to be too small.
Yes, thank you, Sarah. You're absolutely right. That is, yeah, and actually, I wouldn't mind that, but I know for a lot of people, it's just wasting card, isn't it, when they do that? And I hate to tell people the wrong instructions. Now, obviously, I'm just using a tape pen because it is my choice. I love the tape pen, that and tacky glue. But just use the glue of your choice. So we've stuck all those bits. We've just got to pop now our tape on the backs. So pop all them down. Yeah, all comes out good in the end, Joe. That's the main thing. I think only once before I got in a bit of a situation with my measurements, so it's not very often it happens, which is quite shocking really for me. All right, so let's pop that onto there. There we go, and then we're going to bring that in. So Joe, I think we need to have a break there, and let's pop those to the side. So that creates your main card, so you can see that's all done. Looks beautiful, doesn't it? I actually really love the shape of this card, and nice and easy, and it does fold flat as well, which is good. So there you go. But let me know if you need recapping on any of those measurements. I've got them all wrote down, and remember that they're going to be placed in the I'm a Crafter's Companion on Facebook after the show, so you will have the full instructions. Plus, you can pause and rewind and get through my muddly bit a bit quicker, but there we go. So I'll let you catch up with those while we have a little bit of a break, and then we'll get on to our stamping.
Absolutely awesome. I want to tell you about one of the deals that's coming up later in tonight's Cartload show. We've got these on the show. The Village, these are fantastic. I'll show you the stencils and the stamps that make them up in just a moment, but it's a country village. It's a complete collection. Now, this should be £142 or $166. Well, it doesn't take a mathematician to work out that that is an amazing deal, is it? You're saving £115 or $135. Have a look at some of the things that you can do with these. Now, I know these are going very quickly at the moment over on the website. 30% of them have gone just this morning, so you will need to be quick for them. Easy to see why when you look at the value that you are getting. You can make so many different things with these. Go and have a little look at some of the things that are online, places like Pinterest that people have done with them. They are amazing. You get everything you need. I just want to move this out of the way a second because I want to bring in the templates and the stamps that you get just to show you what you are getting, because there is loads in here. So you've got the Village Church. You'll also get the Manor House. You've got the Cosy Cottage, the Townhouse, and the Thatch Cottage. Then you've got your dies as well. So you get the dies to create the Village Church, dies for the Manor House, dies for the Cosy Cottage. You've got the dies there for the Townhouse and the Thatch Cottage as well, and you get all the texture stamps that you need too. As I say, they should set you back £142 if you bought them individually, or $166. Today you can see you've got that amazing saving, and also platinum price there comes down to $22.40 or $26.40. If they continue selling the way they have been, there's a good chance they won't make it to the later Cartload show. So if you've got those in your baskets, definitely think about checking them out. Right, we are going to give you an opportunity to get yourself caught up with all the steps that Debbie's just shared with you. So whilst you do that, here's all the details of Club Inspire.
Welcome to Club Inspire, the Crafters Companion community where you can feed your crafty obsession. Join our fantastic loyalty club today and receive 20% off your first order. We'll also give you 250 points to help get you started. Other benefits of joining Club Inspire include exclusive special offers and discounts for Club Inspire members only, exclusive sneak peek previews of brand new product launches, and of course the Club Inspire community group on Facebook, where you can access exclusive content such as downloads, offers and inspiration, and of course you can chat and share your makes with other members. You'll receive 1 point for every £1, dollar or euro you spend, and the more points you receive, the more benefits you'll unlock. So what are you waiting for? Sign up, join the club and start rewarding yourself today. Many
many of our viewers bring up time and time again, and that's our wax seal gate.
Thinking, Joe, it might not work as well because I put too much. Joe's laughing. Oh, I've forgotten to put me thing in place. Oh, Joe.
Words, but I think that doesn't engage with that and can come out all wrong.
Water.
That wasn't the one you just washed your brush in, was it?
Sorry, yes, but it doesn't matter.
No, it wasn't, was it? It was. Are you kidding?
I'm going to have to say, it's a slip of the tongue. I'm going to say it's maybe to do with my Scottish accent. I'm maybe going to say it's because of Mr. Ben Mosby. He is, well, yeah, he doesn't help matters.
Well,
yeah, eat shortbread and eat the queen. Eat.
I've made pots that have exploded when I fired them. I've done zips in inside out. It happens to everybody.
We've all spilt our glitter all over our project or knocked the water over.
You're right.
I've just noticed I've got my dress on inside out.
So I was messing about doing some backgrounds with the sparkling, took the lid off it and managed to catch the pot somehow, and the whole thing came towards me, down my front, across my lap, onto the floor.
Went to reach for the water and, you know, do the tapping with the and so there was less tapping and more sort of a tsunami.
I've got some.
It's not in your pocket, is it?
Yeah.
Oh no! Well, you don't see what Michelle's is there. Afterwards, as she picks it up, it tips, and the water runs off, and the project runs off of it as well. It's so
Very funny.
And I feel like we didn't get the best of the wax.
I know, yeah, we didn't show the last bit.
That clip. But I'm sure you'll find all of them online. Miriam's absolutely love watching these bloopers, as do I, Miriam, as do I. I want to go ahead and share with you the brand new Christmas Gilding Flakes, which we have released just yesterday. So busy on them at the moment. 3 brand new colours in here. You're going to get the festive red, the festive green, and the Yuletide gold. They're all coming in there, but what you're also going to receive in this particular collection is 204 foam pads as well, double-sided adhesive on these, so they make really great embellishments. You can cover them in the Gilding Flakes and they are just a really quick, good to go embellishment, and it really allows you to see those new colours of Gilding Flakes that are in there. So you've got the angels and stars, the baubles in there. These ones here are all of your different snowflakes, and you'll also get the present and the trees in there too. $27.96, $35.80 gets you all of them, which is brilliant. So do not miss out on that. Very busy again today, as they were yesterday. So make sure you snap those up. We're going to go back over to Debbie. Any questions you've got, keep getting them into me. Crafters TV on Facebook, Crafters Companion if you are across on YouTube. But what's next, Debbie?
Yeah, so let's get into some colouring and decorating our card, and so we want stamping, colouring, and to really make it look pretty. So I love this because I feel like it's a little bit of a sort of colouring happy craft along, as well as doing a card. So we spent that first hour getting our card together, and now we can spend the next hour doing our colouring and actually decorating our card. So the first thing I've got is some Nina cardstock. Now, if you do only have our white multi-purpose, that will work as well. Now I want to pretty much make it sort of be on my platform, because I want to do all my stamping in one go. Now you can do it separate if you want, because I did put on the list of tools to need was our 4-inch and 6-inch stamping platform, but you know how I love the and that's if you, so I put that because you only need those to do these small amount of stamping. So when we're stamping like her, you would only need your 6-inch. When we're stamping like these baubles, you would only really need your 4-inch one. So, but just because I've got my biggest one here, so if you've got your magnetic one, then use that. And we're going to stamp all in one go. So I am going to use the beautiful fairy there. So we're going to stamp her. I'm just going to make sure that I've got enough room around. I didn't clean them before, so I just know that there'll be a little bit of ink left. But I am going to place these so I know that I can get the die cut, so the die around the edges of where they are. And then we want the grandfather clock. So we're going to use that one. So let's pop that there. And also I'm going to use a couple of the baubles. So I'm just going to use these 2 smaller ones. So in fact, I'm going to use the bigger round one, I think. So I'm going to use that bigger round one. So let's pop one there, and we're going to use this, so the 2 largest ones. So let's just move those up. So again, I'm just making sure that where I'm placing them, there's enough room to put all the dies around. So I know that that one will fit round. I know that my grandfather clock will fit round. So we can fit all of those onto there. And then the only other one we've got the little mouse here, the little king rat, is it? We're going to pop that one down as well. And then one last one, I want to use the actual Nutcracker. Now you can use Christmas wishes if you want, Christmas magic, whichever sentiment you want. I'm just going to use the Nutcracker one. And I'm just going to place this onto the top. Now this, I want to, oh, that wasn't very clever, was it? I've just chucked those dies. It's only one. That's fine. So this one here is what I want to use to cut this out. So all I want to do is make sure that when I'm placing this on here, I've got enough room to actually cut that around there, okay? So I can move that a little bit forward. There we go. And then we're just going to stamp those down, and I'm using our tri-blend markers. I will tell you which colours I'm using as we go along. I've got one tri-blend brush, so I think we've got the brush. Have we got the brush or the markers?
We do have them on this show, yes, the tri-blend brush pens.
So I've got markers, and I've got only one brush with me here, so I could switch them out, but it doesn't matter, the same colours of whichever you use. I'm looking for magnets, Joe, and they're on here. I just forgot to place them down. Got 3, where's another one can go? Let's pop one just there. Bit over, just so I know that it's not going to lift my paper up. There we go. So once you've collected all of those up from your paper, I'm going to use our Noir Black. I'm using the alcohol proof one, so it's the one that you'll need if you are alcohol colouring or using alcohol pens. And then we're just going to go over every one of the stamps, just making sure ink has picked all those up. And then our Nutcracker. Now I like using this platform because I feel it gives me the chance of, which is likely for me, to not get it right first time. So pop that onto play. I have got a piece of card on there which I'm just going to move. Once that's settled, always press down onto your cross, and then you can walk your fingers round where all the other stamps are. Now what this does is it enables to make sure that when you go back down, if you need to with your stamping, so let's have a look. Oh, not too bad at all. So I think just here could do with a little bit of extra stamping. So I don't need to put on it anywhere else. I'm just going to ink up that one. But when I go back down, let it settle again. Once it's settled, if I push down there, I can go in where I know that one was not taken, and it goes into the exact place every single time. Yeah, absolutely lovely. So all of them are absolutely fine. So just let me know if you need me to stop or I'm going too fast, because I don't want to do that, because I know sometimes, especially with colouring, you can go that little bit too quickly. And then all I'm going to do now, Joe, I think, no, we'll colour them first before we cut them out. You can use any piece of card to colour onto, so I've just got a scrap piece of my craft card. Just making sure I don't lose these dies because I've pulled them off and we're going to need them. So pop those onto there. We'll cut them out afterwards. And then we're going to start our colouring. So let's start with our Nutcracker. Now I'm going to be bringing in obviously my red, so the dark red blend. I've then got my tan blend. We've then got our brown grey blend and ice grey blend, and then our gold yellow blend, okay? Oh, and our blue, I've used a blue, a true blue. So all those colours, so even though they seem a lot of colours, they are all colours that we're going to use. So the first thing I'm going to use is my ice grey blend. So let's start off with our mid colour. So in this middle section, we're going to do his boots. And I'm just going to go in with my colour just all the way around. Joe, could I ask you to do me a big favour, please?
Of course.
Could you go get my glasses out my bag?
Where are they? Where's your bag?
It's on the seat in the green room.
On the seat, yeah.
On the seat, yes, thank you. It's quite a small amount and I thought I'd be okay, but I'm sort of squinting. You'll all be pleased to know though, I have been and had my eyes checked and I have new glasses on the way. So I'm hoping they will be much better. So then Jamie's got some new, you've gone for contacts. So I've gone for 2 different glasses. I've gone for, they're called occupational glasses and varifocals. Thank you.
There you are.
No, they're my sunglasses. You knew that. He knew that. He put my sunglasses in.
I wanted to do some colouring in. You don't need to do some colouring in your sunglasses.
Yeah, have you heard of occupational glass lenses?
No, but in they're clear.
No, it means that they have 2. So with my normal glasses, I just need another one, Joe. You get, I'm just bringing in my ice grey shades.
You get like close up down in the bottom half and distance in the top half?
No. So that's varifocals.
Right.
Occupational, in varifocals now, they have 3 levels.
Right.
So you have your very bottom for your close-up work, then you have your mid, sort of the next half of the bottom is for like computer work, and then your normal vision for long ones. So occupation is the top bit is for computer screens, and the bottom, the half, so half and half.
Yeah.
And then that bit's for, so occupational lenses is for people that are on computers or reading and that sort of thing. Yeah. So I've gone for 1 of each.
God, right. I bet you're going to be like this, up and down like a fruit machine. Ding, 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 ding.
That's better. I can see what I'm doing now. Right, so we're just putting in that darkness, and I'm using 2 because the ice grey blend, I wanted a bit more of a darker one. So I've gone for the ice grey in the medium and the dark, which we're putting all over, and then we're going in with the dark one just around that shading, and then I'm coming in with my lightest one on the shades. So just using them to create on his boots. And it's just a case of leaving a little bit of light shade. So we're going to go in at the top here, but I'm leaving that sort of white space there, and then I'm going to go sort of even darker on the bottom. Now, if you're a bit unsure with your colouring, just put little dots, because the dots will fill the gaps. So if you don't feel like you can be quite light, like not heavy-handed on your, and then I'm just going to go in with a darker one just over. Can you see where we can then get that sort of shade in? And then we can then fill it in with the darkest one on here, just around the edges. Yeah, if you feel like you're a bit heavy-handed, then just go in with your lightest colours. And then we're going to go in with that mid in the centre. And then I'm also going to go in with that mid colour around his boots. So again, so see, if you just put a dot there, it fills the gap. So if you've got small gaps to fill, it's quite nice just to put those dots in. And then all I want to do, I meant to leave those yellow ones just in the centre, but I don't think they're colouring yellow now because I've put grey over the top. But I did want to put gold buttons on there. Oh, you know what we could do? We could put our quickie glue pen on there.
Oh, yeah,
put
great
little foil
idea.
buttons. We'll do that a bit later. And then because we've got the grey, we're going to do the same, but now we're going to put it onto the top part. So again, I'm going to use that mid grey just to go in the centre of his hat. And then, and at the top. And then we got, so, so in my ear they said he looks so menacing, and actually that is very true until he's coloured in, and then I don't think he does look as menacing. So all we're going to do is we're going to go round the edges with that mid colour of our shades, just coming up, and again I'm going to just add little dots just around there, and then we're going to bring in our middle colour there just to make some darkness, to add that shade to his hat, and then around here. The darker colour will always create that beautiful depth, and even if you're doing small projects like this, don't be frightened to add that. And then we're going to
Shadi says, well done, Debbie, and hope to gosh you wear them. As I tell you, we cannot buy eyes in the shop. When they are gone, they are gone.
That's very true. Very true. Right, and then the last thing we're going to do is bring our darkest one back in, and we're going to go with our mid colour, and I'm just going to do his belt. So turning that round, we're going to add that. So it's got a darker belt in, and again I'm just using dots. I'm not colouring heavily on there because we don't want that to bleed into our next colour, because we want to have that beautiful red jacket, just like so. And you can see, I mean, you can still create dark and shade with that, so I'm just going to put a little bit of darkness around the top and the sides. Again, just add in those dots, and then the only thing then we want to fill in is very quickly, well not quickly, but with just little dots, because that's quite a small amount that we need to fill across, but we're just going to pop, I don't know what they would call that. What do they call these things that hold the buttons across the front? Do they have a name, do you think, Joe?
I'm not so sure.
Yeah, I'm not so sure. They must be called something. So holding that in, I think that's all of our darkness done. And then let's bring in our blue, and then we can do his trousers. So I've got True Blue Blend. And again, I'm going to first of all put that lightest colour onto the sides. Then we're going to come in from the top and round the sides with the darker one. It's just about creating a little bit of shading, and then we can go in with our darkest one around there, so we know under his jacket. And then I'm going to go back in with our lightest mid colour, just making sure that the tips of the darker colour blend in, and then the whole thing we can just blend in at the side. So that gives us his trousers. And then we're going to bring in our red, so we can start doing his jacket. So again, lightest colour first. If you're new to colouring and you just want to create a really nice coloured image, you don't need to use all the colours. One layer of colour is nice. It's quite a nice way just to be able to lay down that beautiful colour. So don't worry too much about your blending, because it's quite a small image. We don't have to worry too much. Now I'm adding in this dark, so again I'm just going to go in where I think that shading will be.
Shadi says the Nutcracker guy has the scariest eyes ever.
Yeah,
I don't know, you haven't seen my eyes at the end of a night out.
Are they bad, Joe?
I don't think I saw it was a video of me the other day. When I was up in Edinburgh, me and another friend were recording a video to send to a friend that wasn't there. And I watched it back the other day and I thought, gosh, you really look worse for wear there.
Oh dear. So again, I'm just sort of tapping in, just really tiny little dots, not really colouring that at all. because I want to make sure that we do our, we don't go over the lines too much. So again, just taking that in, I'm going to then go in with my darkest colour at the sides. So we're still allowing that light. It's nice seeing Craig today, wasn't it?
Yeah, lovely. It's, that's the second or third time I've seen him now, I think.
Oh, I haven't seen him.
He's been in a few times.
I think I haven't seen him, so yeah, it was very nice. He's back soon, isn't he?
Yeah. Not long now. I think it's next week, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it is.
Social media superstar Grace has just said to me, Joe, did you get Harry Styles tickets this morning? I thought they were on sale tomorrow, Debbie.
Oh.
But I think she's just winding me up. She got them in the pre-sale this morning. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Me and Debbie Robinson are off to see Harry Styles, all being well. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Be warned, Harry Styles, we're coming.
Whenabouts is that?
We think we're going to try and go to Edinburgh.
Oh, okay.
So there's a couple of London ones, a Cardiff one and an Edinburgh one.
Nice.
Yeah, it was Edinburgh. Grace is going to see him in Edinburgh. We might see you there, Grace. You never know.
Well, I suppose Edinburgh's, that's nearer than London, isn't it?
Yeah. Now, remember what's happening later today as well. We've got a cartload coming up a little later. Myself and Debbie, loads of great bargains in it for you. You'll have to join us at 6 p.m. UK time, 1 o'clock on the East Coast, 10 a.m. on the West Coast, if you want to join us for that.
Oh, went a bit over his stripes there. Don't want to go over his stripes, do we? Sorry, Joe, I've become not very talkative.
That's all right, don't you worry. I'm sure everyone else is slipping into the same colouring coma as we speak.
Just concentrating on those bits. Yeah, I've gone for round glasses this time.
Round ones?
Round ones, yeah.
Where did you go, Debbie?
Specsavers. Right, so we've got his red jacket. So now we're going to use our yellow to fill in our yellow pieces. So his cuffs here. And this is, sorry, I didn't tell you what it is. It's a gold yellow blend that I'm using. So we're just going to pop them into that yellow. So the yellow on that red pretty much sort of lightens that, which is fine. Then we're going to do his buttons. Do those yellow. And then let's do his buckle.
Well, I guess colouring is one of those things you can do exactly as you wish, can't you, Debbie? Do it whatever colours you like, whatever medium you've got that you want to use, anything will work on it at this point.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I don't think you have to worry about what it is. I mean, you can sort of look at the papers that you've got in your box and you could be governed by them if you wanted to, but I think you're right, Joe, I think you can put whatever colours that you want. So popping those on there. And then we're going to use our grey. So we're going to go back to our grey, but we're going to do this is our brown grey blend. And we're going to go in and put some colour in his eyes. So we're going to go round with the grey on the outside. And then we're going with a darker grey on the inside. Might actually go with an even darker one. Yes, let's go with our darker grey. Where did I put that? This one. Ice grey shades, because I think his eyes perhaps need to be quite dark. Like so. That's better. And then we're going to use our lightest grey just for his hair, so it doesn't make him seem completely white. And then we're going to do his moustache and his beard. And then we're going to need our fair skin blend just to do his face. Oh, I've just realised we haven't done his hat yet.
Haven't done to what?
Haven't done his hat.
Oh,
Thought I'd done that. So
he looks a bit less scary when he's coloured in, I think.
He does look less scary.
Righty.
Let's do his hands. And then we're going to just do them a bit darker. He's got a strange way with his teeth. Yeah, I remember someone had a sample, Joe, didn't they? Of they made it so it pulled up and down. His mouth opened. It was very clever and
Right.
it was very good. Yeah, so I made it sound like awful, but it wasn't. It was very, very good. So just put a little bit grey, and then let's get our yellow back in and fill in that hat, so that ties all that one in.
He looks fabulous.
Yeah, he's definitely getting there. And then this piece. There, he looks a lot better now, doesn't he?
Absolutely.
Right, so that's our first one done. Let's do our ballerina here. So we're gonna do her really simply. So because I thought it'd be much easier to actually not colour her all in. We're gonna leave her dress pretty much white, but I'm gonna take my red just to tie in with the red from the Nutcracker. We're just gonna use our red to go into. So I'm gonna take my midsection of our dark red, and all I'm gonna do is do those little dots into her ribbon on her dress. And it's always easier to do little dots, because if you try and do a straight line, you can guarantee that you won't, unless you've got a really, really steady hand. But actually dotting it just seems to work for me, so hopefully it will work for you. Because what we're also going to do is, she's got some trim on her dress, so we're going to do exactly the same. So it's just a case of following that round. You don't need to colour it, because you literally just, those dots will just blend into each other.
It's a really top tip, this to be. I think it's difficult, isn't it, to colour in small spaces without going over the lines.
Yes. Yeah, definitely. And this is just a really nice way of sort of accentuating what she's wearing, rather than putting loads of colours down. So again, just following that round. And then we've got this little rim here. I mean, if you've got the Illustrator and you're using those, you could always just use that tiny little bullet nib, which is perfect. And then we're going to put a hair bow, so let's pop that in there. So just like so. And then just her little ballet shoes as well. Let's have those red. And then,
have you ever been to the ballet, Debbie?
No, I haven't. I would love to go. Or an opera. I've not been to an opera either.
Sorry?
I've not been to an opera either.
Oh, I wouldn't recommend either, personally.
Oh, really? See, I think I would love them.
I enjoyed the ballet more than the opera.
And then while she's got her little, a little small Nutcracker, we're just going to put some red on his jacket there. And then on his, we want blue trousers, so that we'll just switch to our blue for those. And then switch back to our grey, just to give him that darker head, or his helmet. I don't think it is a helmet. What is it, Joe? What's the Nutcracker's hat?
What's his hat?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Is it just called a helmet, or is it?
I don't know.
Just wondered if it was a particular style of hat, because it looks like a crown, doesn't it?
It does, doesn't it? I don't know. I've not a clue.
And then let's
maybe
bring
someone
in...
at home knows. Let them know in the comments.
Yeah, maybe they do. And then I'm bringing in our fair skin, so we can then do her hands and her face. And her neck, and her feet. Do you colour, Joe?
I can, not brilliantly. I have given it a go before with the tri-blends actually, and had great results with them. Miriam says my daughter and I would go to the local ballet to see the Nutcracker every year. Great memories. Her 5th grade class did the Nutcracker play one year for the parents as well. How lovely.
Oh yeah, very nice.
Maybe this is the year you go to the ballet then, Debbie.
Who knows? I'd like to. I don't think it'll be this year.
Got too much on.
Yes, that is very true. Yeah, too much on. So with the hair, all I'm doing is going round the pieces that are already there. And I say the pieces, the stamps that are already there. So the lines, I'm just following those lines round. So, and that will give you sort of where to put your shade in. I think we're very clever at Crafter's Companion of showing where that shading should be. And then just in between, I'm just going to tickle the lines to blend them. And then I'm going to go in with my darkest one, and then we're just going to come round from there, just to give her that sort of darkness on top of her head, and obviously just flick out from that centre piece. And again from the bottom. And then I'm going to go in just to touch those pieces in, or the sides of where we've put it in, and that would just help blend everything together. Like so. And then all we're going to do with her dress, so we're keeping her very simple. I'm going to use my light grey, and we're going to actually use that grey just to create. So all I'm doing is, can you see in between her dress, we're just creating little triangles. Now you could practice this because it's very easy to do, because all we're doing is we're just, and then instead of the triangles, I'm just coming down these lines that have already been done, and I'm just making almost sort of petal-like to make them a little bit pointy. Because I want her to have a white dress, but I want her to have some movement in her dress. And then we're going to do the same with here. We're going to follow those lines just a little bit. We're not doing loads. Just following each one of those lines at the side, which are going to help have that pleated part in. Where there isn't a lot, you don't need to put a lot, it's just a case of going over those lines. And then we can do the same with these ones, just under that belt and over. And then just around here would be that shading.
Comes together very quickly, doesn't it?
Yeah, when you don't put a lot of colour on, and I always think you don't need to have a lot of colour, especially when we're keeping her dress pretty white. So I quite like the look of her. I think we don't need to do really anything else to that. And then we're going to move on to our grandfather clock. So I'm going to bring in our brown now. So I'm using earth brown blend, and we're going to start off. So these ones are quite nice and quick. I wanted to start with these ones because obviously they take a little bit more time to colour in. This one, we're literally going to put an all over brown on the centre, so the lightest brown in this centre. Don't worry about if you go over the lines, because pretty much the whole thing is going to be brown. But what I want to do is I want to create that sort of darkness in the back, and then we can end up putting more at the front. So I'm going to leave that bit sort of open because I want to put some yellow around there. So I'm going to bring our gold yellow blend in. And we're going to use that centre one just to go down the back here, just to create some, just a different tone really. And then into that yellow at the base. Like so. And then what I'm going to do is come in with our mid colour, which we're then going to take around the sides. So this in itself is giving us a different tone. And again, down the sides. And always turn it if you need to. If you want, you could go for one of Tiffany's boards. I don't know what's happened to the one that we had here at the studio because it's not there anymore. And then we're just going to come down with this one. Now I'm going to switch again to that lightest colour in the base, so that's going to be the same. So you can see I'm not even adding another colour to that. We're just going to go around that one. And then switch to the mid colour to go around the edges.
Lots of love coming in for this. Jeanette says, yes, definitely try to make time for the ballet. Elizabeth Cram says, my mum took my daughter every year and my niece till she passed away. Fond memories for them. Sylv says, I once took mum to see Madame Butterfly. They turned the centre of the Royal Albert Hall into a water garden with bridges and little islands. It was stunning.
Oh, that's amazing.
Really sounds it, doesn't it?
I would love to go and see that. Yeah, that would be amazing. So all I'm doing now is we're going in with our darkest brown and doing the feet. And again, let's bring in that yellow and that midsection to do those little scrolls on the bottom. And actually, while we've got that out, I'm going to put those scrolls on here.
These colour up much quicker than I thought they would, you know, Debbie.
Was you getting worried?
No, I just think it's quite surprising how quickly they come together once you get going with them.
Yeah, absolutely. And they're just so nice. They've got the right amount of colouring space to do, Joe, to be able to get quite creative. So all we're going to do is just I'm rotating this round, so find what's comfortable for you. So obviously for me, leaning on my wrist and rotating works for me. It means I get much more control in my pen. So I always find it easier to rotate. It's a bit like when we say when you're cutting, rotate your paper, not your scissors. I find it very similar with this as well. Now what I am going to do though, I'm going to come in with a different colour, which is my tan. Yep, my tan one. And we're going to go in for the clock face. We're going to just do that a little bit lighter. So just around the edges there. I'm not worried about doing that centre part, I just want to tone in that colour. And then if we do want to just have a little bit of blending, we've done that light colour in the centre, we can then just, I'm going to come in with the mid colour and just add some shading in. So just around and under the here. And then we can blend that back in with our lightest colour. Remember, once that starts to evaporate, that will all start to blend together. And then I'm going to do the same. So I'm just going to add a touch around where I think that shadow will be. And all this does, it adds sort of definition. It makes your images pop. Pop that just around there. And then we'll just come round here. And then I'm going to go back in with the lightest colour just to blend that out. So right up there. And then around, there we go, just like so. So that's that one done. So we're right on schedule because then we're going to cut all these out and literally decorate our cards. So we're
some people are crafting along as well with us, Debbie. We're starting to get pictures in already, which is lovely.
My goodness, that's amazing. And they've been colouring, they must have been colouring quicker than me.
They must have been doing super fast colouring.
Absolutely.
If you want to send any pictures in to us, we'll pop the address up at the bottom of the screen for you so you can send those in to us.
Absolutely. Oh, I'm so pleased. It's lovely to know that people are colouring along. So I'm just switching. Now I've tried to use all the same colours that throughout all my images, so you haven't got to go too far away from our main colour. And again, I'm just using that real tip of that brush nib. So the brush nibs actually, Joe, are very good because you can really get into that small detail. And then we're going to do the same on this one, just while I've got this out. So look at that, being able to get into that tiny little detail along there. Just like so. And this is all quite quick crafting really with the colouring because it's just smaller amounts to use. And then we're going to use our red. So let's go with my lightest colour. Just to go into here, you can see I'm just slightly tapping. Just catching the inside, you don't have to do too much, just a really slight little tap down will get your ink out onto your paper. and it'll allow you, and if you do go over and you've used a lighter colour like I have on the yellow, don't worry too much, because if you go back in with your lightest colour, you could blend that like I did just on that one. You can blend that out a little bit more afterwards. There's always a way. So just going along that bottom piece. Yeah, it's quite, when you look at it, it's quite a bit of colouring, isn't it, that we've covered today. But because of the small images, it's quite quick and super easy to do.
Yeah, and I think it's lovely to see you do these smaller items, because I think a lot of people struggle with the smaller images sometimes, getting colour on there. I know they're, smaller projects, you'd imagine they're easier, but I think sometimes it can be more difficult, especially to create shading as well, Debbie.
Yes, absolutely, yeah. And you can still do it with this. So if I then go in with my darker colour, we can still add in to this extra piece here to create that shading, and under here, let's do that actually, let's tie that bottom bit in. But if I do want to just slightly bring that, elevate that, we can just dot underneath to create, even on the smallest of projects, create that beautiful shading. And then let's do our other one. Let's go in with a, let's have a blue, use a blue on that. So this is our, no, that's ice, let's use our true blue. I'm going to go straight in with our mid colour. Oh, this will look like a Norwich City, won't it? Yellow and blue. Oh, it's not yellow and blue. I always say that. Norwich City is green and yellow. I do apologise to. I always get them mixed up because.
Who's yellow and blue? So
no, nobody. Oh, I don't think there is anybody. But I get them mixed up because I did have a son-in-law that was a Norwich supporter, and I've got a son-in-law that's an Ipswich supporter. So I think I just combined the two.
So do you? I've got so many questions there, Debbie, but we're going to I think we'll just swiftly move on.
Was you going to ask why is my was?
Was, you did used to have one, yeah. Now you got another one.
Yeah.
Did the new one replace the old one?
No, they wasn't married, so it was my daughter's boyfriend that supported Norwich, and they're not together anymore, yeah. Young love, Joe, you know how it is.
Young love, don't we just?
And then, no, and my other daughter's married, so he's still my son-in-law. He's my real son-in-law. I don't make it any easier, do I? All right, let's just go up there and do that. And then I think I'm just going to colour this one in with a light colour in the centre.
Carol Ann says, hopefully I'll find my Nutcracker box soon, as this has been a brilliant craft along to follow. Well, I hope so. I hope someone hasn't pinched it, Carol Ann.
I hope not.
Sure, maybe, do you have any idea at all where it could be? You have to have a good old rummage.
You've obviously got a big craft room to lose it. You have to, it's probably piled under something, isn't it? Or cupboards. See, I have cupboards, Joe, that I lose things in. And then have to go rummaging around there.
I cannot find anything in my flat at the moment, Debbie. It all needs a real good tidy.
Oh dear.
You know, when everything's just falling out of every cupboard that you open, bursting at the seams.
Yeah.
Well, I've been there. It'll be 2 years next month that I've been there. Where does the time go, honestly? Yeah, I haven't really had a sort out since I moved in, so the time has come.
Donny's towel pink, but I'm grey, but I'm thinking his towel should be pink, shouldn't it? Let's do tan. So we'll do him with his little tan suit on. And then we're going to put that darker colour in. It's a sword in his hand, yeah. Fighting for cheese, yeah. I think he's very much fighting for his cheese. Like his little, yeah, isn't he the oh, what do they call him? They call him something in the Nutcracker, and it's gone out of my head, so I can't remember what they call him.
Mousy McMouseface?
No, I said it earlier and now I can't think what it is. Right, I'm going to go round with my fair skin, so let's just colour that one in. And then the Mouse King, that's it. Couldn't think what he was called. He's the Mouse King. And we're going to do that with all of them, Joe. So I'm just going to come round. So this is just our fair skin blend. And all I'm doing is giving that a little bit of a halo very quickly all the way around.
Chrissy Mahoney says, mine is up in my cabinets with all the other boxes I haven't begun to use yet. There's quite a few up there. You've got to get them down. You've got to get through them. It's a perfect time of year to be using this as well, isn't it, really? How many days are there until Christmas?
Oh, probably not. I don't even think I
look.
want to know. Although I feel like I can start counting them down just to see my son.
115 days.
Oh, that's not long, is it?
Not long at all. Oh, Debbie, I'm not looking forward to winter. I've got to put it out there.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to winter, but I can't wait for Christmas.
I don't mind pre-Christmas winter. It's post-Christmas winter that's my least fave.
I don't like winter.
My least fave indeed. So I'm going to try and have a nice holiday after Christmas, Debbie.
Oh, nice. Oh, we've just booked our holiday for next year. To a few different places.
So where did you settle on?
So a little bit of a change, but we are going to the same place as I said, which is, but we're doing it in the opposite order. So we're going to Singapore for 4 days, 4 nights, then Bali for 4 nights, and then Hanoi for 4 nights, and then I think 4 nights in Bangkok.
Amazing.
I can't
You'll
wait.
have to try and get to Halong Bay.
Yes.
You'll have to try and get to Halong Bay when you're in Hanoi, Debbie.
Yeah, absolutely. It just looks, I'm really looking forward to going to Hanoi. Yeah, I'm looking forward to everything. It's going to be amazing. Right, so let's do some die cutting, and then all we've got to do is stick it to our cards. So let's bring in our die sets. I can't believe those people finished already. I feel like I'm rushing when actually I don't need to rush, especially if people have finished already. I just can't wait to see their pictures. Right, now, because we've got that all on one piece, I'm really pleased with that. They look really good, don't they, Joe?
Amazing.
I can't believe we've done it all in that time as well, which is great. So let's pop that on. I'm going to bring in some low-tack tape, and I'm going to stick some of these together. So the shapes are really easy to follow. You just have to make sure that you get them all inside that cutout. So let's tape, I can do these two together. Just pop that like so, and then bring that across to both of those. There we go. And then we've got our dancing ballerina, our grandfather clock, and then we've got our baubles. So there's that one, and that one. And you can we've still got lots of dies still left, which means there's so much to be creative with. So I'm going to pop one into place just like so, and that one, making sure we've caught all them. That's them. Got our nutcracker up the top there. So just making sure we've got that fully in there, onto that. And then our last two.
Mary Ryan says, don't tell me, that doesn't sound like I've got time until Christmas. It doesn't, does it, Mary?
I know, it's very quick. I literally cannot wait. My son's coming over from Mexico, my grandson, yeah. And we've hired a house at Backton.
Yeah, well, me and Debbie Robinson were saying we might come and just hijack Christmas for a couple of days.
Do it.
You know, after Christmas, not just turn up unannounced.
Do it, Joe.
Sandra says they've been in their house 26 years, brought up 3 kids. All the kids have flown the nest, not taken any of their belongings with them. How annoying. How annoying indeed is that? He's called the Rat King, apparently, Jeanette says.
Oh, the Rat King, that's it.
Yeah.
Yes, the Rat King.
Oh my, I saw some rats in Edinburgh, Debbie. Oh my life.
Did you?
They were like sausage dogs, they were so big, honestly. Like small cats is what they were like. I've never seen them so big. I took a wrong turn trying to get to the address my friend was staying at, which took me down like a back service alley where like bins and stuff are, and it was dark, and I could sort of, as I went, I thought I could hear scuttling, and then all of a sudden they started running across the walkway. Oh gosh, it was so terrifying.
Oh, that
they
is
must have been about
terrifying.
that big. I kid you not. They were that's without their tails. They was like that big. Honestly, they were
You
huge.
can get big rats.
Huge they were.
Well, our little rat king is quite cute.
He's much cuter than the ones in Edinburgh, honestly.
Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah, did they have swords in?
They didn't. I mean, they didn't need them as far as I was concerned. I was running in the other direction.
Ah, look what I just did. Wasn't being very careful then. It's okay though, because it's only took that bit off. So actually, let's put a little bit of glue on, just like so. And then we can stick that back over, like so. There we go, wouldn't even know. Wouldn't know. And then to be a bit more careful with these ones, just because our tape's a little bit sticky. And then our last bauble, like there. So I'm just making sure I've got all my dies so I can be very neat and tidy and put them back afterwards. Right, let's bring our card back in. Just take that one die off of there. So we've got our main card. We're then going to use these, and I'm going to bring in some foam pads as well. So we're just going to start popping these onto the front of our card. So the first thing I've got is our girl Nutcracker. She's not a girl Nutcracker. I'm going to pop her just at the side here. So, and actually what I am going to do is I'm going to just trim around the top part, because it's just a tiny bit. I remember doing this now, just a tiny bit there, and on the bottom of her shoe as well, just because it makes that little bit smaller to be able to pop her inside there. So let me just pop some foam pads onto there. So she will then just go onto here. Want to have her, there we go, so she's standing. And then our Nutcracker here, he's going to be at the side, so we're going to pop him there. So all I want is just a little bit on the sides. So because I'm using our these foam pads, I'm just going to trim them in half, so they'll just go down that side bit. So a nice little way of just making our foam pads go a little bit further by halving them. Then we can pop him right on that side, just like so. And then we've got our little mouse just on the side here.
Mary Pat says, yesterday my daughter-in-law told my granddaughter that it's the last day of August. My granddaughter replied, yeah, that means it's almost Christmas. It does feel like that, doesn't it? It does feel like we go from August bank holiday to Christmas like in the blink of an eye.
Yeah, it goes well. In fact, I just don't know how we've got to September. It's gone
But don't forget,
so
September is
quickly.
the most important month of the year, of course.
It's the most important one.
Yes, of course.
It is, of course. Well, I don't know if it is actually.
Excuse me?
I don't know if September is the most important.
I think
month.
September is the most important month of the year.
No. No. Does someone have a birthday?
No. Yes. 2, in fact.
Yeah, you always had 2. You'll have to tell that story.
I'm actually
nearer the
working
time.
on both my birthdays this year. I'll be here for both of them.
Oh, okay.
So they fall on a Monday and a Tuesday, Debbie. So I really didn't see the point of having them off.
Well, it's nice to celebrate it around friends. I'll have to. Oh, what dates am I in with you?
Sorry?
Am I in with you?
I don't know. I haven't checked the calendar actually. Let's have a look.
Then we're going to pop that there.
I am with Michelle on my official birthday, and Michelle and Sarah on my unofficial birthday.
Oh, there you go. Right, so I am just going to add, just from one of our daubers, a little bit of red around that nutcracker, just to tie that in with our sort of general feel of our sort of vintage feel. So it's not that stark white. And then we are going to just pop our foam pads onto that as well. So again, if you've got these, or you might have your other foam, just pop them in half, or pop whatever foam pads you have onto there. And then we're going to stick that to the top. And then all I've got left to do, Joe, is we're going to add a few little, that's quite good having that there because it just hides my little wonky piece. I've just got some of the gems out of the pack. It's what we didn't show earlier actually, so anyone that's bought the craft kit, the gems were missing, but I had some ones that I bought from home, and I'm just going to use my Pokey Tool just to put some of these gems around and just fill up some of these spaces because we've got them. So we're going to put like 3 in this corner, and then we're going to, looks like Rudolph. I'm going to put another one up here just to add some, just to get rid of that sort of starkness there. And then I'm going to put some onto here. Let's do that onto that one. And then I'm just going to use these red ones at the side. One on there. Oh. And one there, and then I did have just a couple here, a couple of green ones, which I'm just going to pop onto there, and there we go. That was perfect timing.
Delightful.
For our little nutcracker. There we go.
Absolutely incredible. What a glorious, glorious craft along. Now remember, if you want to send pictures of your craft along in, we'd love to see them. Either we'll show them in this show, or maybe we'll show some in the later show as well. studio@crafterscompanion.co.uk. studio@crafterscompanion.co.uk. We've had one sent in already actually from Michelle, so let's have a little look at that one first, and then I'll share with you a couple of the other items that are on the show. This one here, which Michelle was it? Do we know?
Oh wow. That is so amazing.
Gorgeous,
thank you so much for crafting along.
Absolutely gorgeous. Thank you for sending that in, Michelle. Really, really
yeah,
beautiful.
really lovely.
I want to quickly just remind you of a few of the other bits and bobs we've got on the show then before we end. The tri-blends are all available, and they're all available individually, which is a great thing. So you can really pick and choose with them. They're in different collections for you. So we've got Spring Blooms as your first option. You can also go for a Winter Holiday. You've got Coastal Gardens, then we've also got Autumn Hues, you've got your Natural Tones, Summer Sun, Classic Chic. They're all the same price, these, and all of them available on the 3 for £26 or $40 on the Woodland Walk. So there is a selection of those, a full collection if you go for all of them. The other ones we've got available for you as well are the sparkle pens. These are excellent. Again, 4 different collections in here. So you've got Tint and Tone. You've also got Earthy Natural. You've got the soft pastels. And you then have the clear overlay as well, which makes anything sparkly, which is brilliant. It was from, I think it was Michelle Knits For You that sent that in. I thought it might have been. 38.97 or 50.85 if you want to go for those. And then don't forget, we also have the buy 2 get 1 free on the pencils for you as well. So in here you're going to get the Essentials collection. You've also got the Naturals, and oh gosh, they're open. And you'll also get the primaries in there as well. There you are. And again, 3 for 2 on those. So $49.98 or $66.90 is your price there on those. Don't miss out on them. Michelle. I've got Michelle on the brain now. Michelle on my birthday. Michelle sent a craft along in. Debbie, pleasure as always to spend some time with you in the studio. Should we do it again in a couple of hours?
Oh yeah, let's do it.
All right, we'll do it again in a couple of hours then, as Debbie's up for it. Make sure you head over to the website, hit the Shop of the Day button, and see all the amazing cartload deals that are coming your way as well with myself and Debbie. You're going to need to join us back here at 6 p.m. in the UK, 1 o'clock on the East Coast, 10 a.m. West Coast. We'll see you then. Take care.